Alright, I'm back for part number 2. So today I picked up a new pack of chisels because I ruined one chisel so bad. I can't say I ruined it, but I put it out of commission until I get it on a grinder. That's how bad I butchered up the end of the chisel. So I decided let's just go get a new pack of chisels. These are cheap. They're $8.99 from my local hardware store. They have wood handles, kind of cool. It's the same set that I bought that I have been using for a while, and they've been working great. They hold an edge well, and they seem to sharpen fairly easy. But I've been talking to some folks this week on some different forums about sharpening, and they gave me some tips, quite a few different tips actually. So let's go ahead and get this package cut open here. Hopefully I won't bore you too long with this. The plastic's sharp too, so hopefully I don't cut myself. How about that? That went flying. Alright, let's see if I can get in here. Get these chisels out. Okay, so for those of you that didn't see my last video, maybe if you didn't see it, I was having trouble getting the chisel in to stay square. So let's see if I can show this to you a little better. If I take a square here and I put the side of the chisel blade there, that should be perfectly square. So with the combination square, I can just line it up and it all lines up perfectly square. So the goal is, after I sharpen, that it's still perfectly square. And it wasn't. I've been having some difficulty with this. I don't know why. So anyhow, I'm rambling a little bit trying to think through this. But one of the tricks is to take a magic marker or a black marker and just to actually color in the tip of the chisel. Okay, so I actually took a quick break because I kind of forgot. When you get chisels, you first want to, they call it initializing them, flattening the back. So you have to have a couple things to prepare your chisel. You have to have a flat back. And what you do is you take that on sandpaper. In this case, I have these diamond stones, and you just rub it back and forth like this on the back. And you'll notice when you pull it off the stone that there'll be an area that's been ground down, and there'll be a hollow or a belly in the chisel. So either they'll have a hollow in it, or it'll have a belly and it'll be raised. So basically I just wanted to get this flat really quick so that I could do the sharpening test that I really want to show you as far as freehand sharpening the bevel. But in order for you to get a sharp edge, you really have to have the back flat first. And so let me see if I can show you a little bit. Let's see. Okay, I think right there you can kind of see in the light, you'll see there's an area that looks lighter than the other. And that's the area that wasn't touched by the stone. That's a hollow right there. But all you're really concerned with is the tip here. So as long as you got this ground flat, you're good to go. And I do. I'll explain more about this a little more in another video. But for now, that's what you have to do to prepare it. And then you can go ahead and sharpen your bevel. And then you have two perfect angles meeting to make that sharp edge. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up really quick on my stones. I'm just doing the final polish. And once you do this, you don't really have to come back and revisit it. Okay, so now I'm all polished up and ready to try to sharpen this chisel. So I'm going to go ahead and color in the black again because I rubbed it off a little bit when I was doing this, when I was flattening the back. But the reason I'm putting this on here is because when I move the chisel forward on the stone, it's going to show me where I'm grinding away on the chisel, where I'm grinding away on the bevel. And that'll give me an idea if maybe I need to make an adjustment in pressure or turning it or something like that. So I'm going to put a little bit more fluid, lapping fluid on here. It's actually an auto glass cleaner. It's not really lapping fluid, but it works the same. So here's what we are going to do. This is a method I've been trying to learn from Paul Sellers online. So you feel for the angle. So I can feel the angle right there. And you just push forward. And so far it looks pretty good. So I'm going to keep doing that. I'm having a hard time seeing. It's like the marker came off really right away. It didn't stay on there, so it's not helping me gauge where I'm grinding and where I'm not. So this method may not work. What actually might help that, I'm going to take this lapping fluid off. Maybe having a dry stone, maybe it won't wash away the marker as quick. So again, I'm going to tilt it. I've got that bevel right there, flat, and I'm going to move it forward. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. Let me see if I can show this to you. I'm grinding away most of the tip except for this far point. And I don't think you guys can see that because it's too dark, and I apologize for that. Let's see. Can I show it back in the light here? Maybe you can see. It looks like a shadow right there. So for some reason it's not touching that. So maybe I need more pressure on this side. I'm still not hitting that. Man, I'm not sure why that is. It's a mystery. Wow. What is the deal? Okay, so I'm going to try repositioning my fingers and see if I can put more pressure on that side and really no pressure at all on the other side. I still don't seem to be hitting that at all, and it's at quite a bit of an angle. I am certainly not understanding this at all. So bear with me. I'm going to keep working on this. See if I can figure this out. Okay, actually, I think I got it. It's almost completely gone. There's just the tiniest hint of where I'm not hitting, but it's square across. And what you're going for when you're sharpening is a burr across the back. And it's just like when you're grinding, it's going to raise a little bit of metal up off the back, and you'll feel it with your finger at the very tip. And so I can feel that burr all the way across, and it's uniform, and that's what you want. You want it to be uniform. So I'm going to go ahead, do a couple more strokes on this, and see. Okay, that spot that wasn't disappearing is almost gone, and it appears like everything's fairly square. Let me go ahead and check this. Yeah, I'm square all right. So no complaints there. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the middle stone here. This is a medium. The first stone was coarse. It was also suggested to me to not push so hard on the stones. It doesn't take near as much pressure sharpening a chisel because there's than a plane blade. Like a plane iron is a lot wider, so you don't need to have so much force on a chisel. And so I've been playing around with that right now, and I haven't been putting a lot of force down on the stone. You know, I hate to say this, but it's really close, but I've got the burr all the way across, but it's still not quite uniform on this far side, the side that I'm not quite getting 100% of that mark. I mean, that mark is almost gone, but it's just not quite gone, and my burr is so close. So something's not quite hitting right when I'm doing this stroke. So let's keep seeing. I'm going to go back to the course and see if I can maybe get something to happen here. Okay, well, that certainly helped. I got it in a better shape when I did that. Took a little bit more off. I turned it a little bit. Okay, it looks pretty uniform now. So I think it's just, the key is figuring out the pressure, figuring out how you want to turn the chisel. I mean, it's a pretty natural movement to go straight back and forth like this, and this is what Paul Sellers teaches. So that's what I'm trying to do. But sometimes certain angles don't seem to work for me, and I think from the consensus I've gotten from folks, it's different for everybody. But right now, it seems like I'm really close. I'm going to keep moving on here. Okay, I've really got a nice burr across the back, so let me see if I can go ahead and remove this burr. I actually pushed it to the front a little bit, which is okay. It'll come off on the strop. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside for a second. My stones, I'm going to pull out my strop, just a little board with some chromium oxide, I believe it is. It's a polishing compound. I'm going to put that in my vise here. Charge it with the buffing compound. And this will take my blade to a mirror-like finish on the end. And this will actually polish to about 15,000 grit, as I understand it. So I'm going to go ahead and work on getting this burr off. I'm going to pull about 30 strokes on here. A lot of force with my hand down, so on the edge of there, the blade there. Okay, so it pushed the burr to the back again. I'm going to see if I can, sometimes you can take it off on the corner of your piece of wood, or so here we go. It's almost off now. Okay, it's off there. I don't know if you can see this in the camera. Probably not. That'd be really hard to see. But anyhow, there's a small wire. That's the burr. That's what came off. You can't really see it, I don't think. But that's what you're looking for, is a wire that comes all the way across the tip there. Okay, with any luck, this should be pretty sharp. So let's see what we got. Get a little of that buffing compound off. Didn't quite get it all the way off. I'd say that's pretty sharp, so that's what we're looking for. And it's square. Okay, I'll take that any day. Alright, so that was a lot longer than I wanted it to go, but what I've learned here is that just taking these out of the package brand new, I checked the end of the chisel to be square, and it was. So from there, I simply, once I used the dry stone and I colored the tip with the black marker, it let me see where I was grinding away on the chisel as I tried a few different angles. And for me, it seemed like it was easier when I had the chisel angled a little more out this way, and I went pretty straight like that instead of having the chisel in more. So I think it's going to be different for everyone. I think it depends on the pressure of your fingers, on which side. You know, you can have more pressure on this side, more pressure on this side. At one point, I was trying to put a little more pressure on the front corner, and I turned the chisel out more. I went straight back and forth, and that's what seemed to do it for me. And across the back, everything looks good. It's not skewed. It's still square. So I'm pretty happy with that. If I can keep doing this with the other chisels I have, then I'll be set. And this is the thing about it. I wanted to learn this so badly because it's very quick. And I mean, I'm moving slow trying to figure out what's going on. But once you have this down, it's just a quick 1-minute deal or so, and then you're done and you're back working wood, because no one wants to stand sharpening chisels all day long and not get any woodworking done. That's no fun. So anyway, sorry if I rambled a bit. Hey, I'm still pretty new to this video stuff, but I hope that you learned something. And hey, please subscribe to my channel if you like it, and let me know what you think. Alrighty, thanks. God bless.